Yo, welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is Saturday, July 22nd. Woo! Welcome back. Hopefully, everybody's having a beautiful start to their motherfucking weekend. Oh, I mean, mother trucking weekend. Damn it. It's going to flag me on YouTube. Damn it. My bad. But, um, completely, wow, I always take myself out of the thought process. My fault. Welcome. Okay. Hopefully everybody's having a beautiful weekend. Hopefully you guys are being safe out there, not using any fireworks or anything like that. Oh, well, it's past July 4th. So you did a good job, man. You made it through. But where you can find the Cruiser Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere else you can find podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. Yo, man. So I wasn't expecting myself to do a show tonight, but I needed to make sure. Hold on, let me make sure that my fucking hold on. Whoa. What's it doing that? That's weird. Why can't I turn my Okay, there we go. Can I turn it off? No. There we go. I don't know why my whole shit just switched up on me. That's weird. So I was scouring the internet today, and I had to talk about this. I have to talk about this because it's fresh in my mind. And I just watched the music video. If everybody doesn't know what I'm talking about Jason Aldean. Okay, apparently it was not in a small town or some shit like that. I heard about it first on macro dosing. They were talking about it. It kind of made little jokes about it and stuff like that. I'm like, the way the song was read to me it was read, it wasn't sung, so I had to go listen to the singing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to go listen to the actual song, watch the video, all the rest of that cool shit. 3-minute video, very quick listen, very quick watch, very quick listen and stuff like that. Here's my problem, is that the depictions that are on that screen is weird, because you talk about the rioting and motherfuckers robbing people and things like that, and you go to this small town deal where people are apparently supposed to be protecting each other and things like that. But y'all do know that there is a double-edged sword to having a small town. Everybody's in your business, and everybody, if you are shunned by one person or one affluential person in that town, or that person doesn't like you for some reason, you get kind of shut out from a small town, right? Okay, cool. Here's my problem with Jason Aldean in the song. Okay, understandably, yes, in a small town, motherfuckers do take care of each other sometimes. It's not all the time, sometimes. Okay, let's not put a broad spectrum on it. They do not protect each other all the time. Secondly, Jason Aldean is not from a fucking small town. Jason Aldean's from Macon, fucking Georgia. I heard of Macon, Georgia. Okay, if I heard about the city, I feel as though it's a city. It's not a small town. Also, I went to go look at the population of Macon, Georgia. It's over 150,000 people that live in Macon, Georgia. Now, understandably, people are like, wow, that sounds like a little small number. To me, I was like, that's kind of like a small city, maybe a suburb of a bigger city, which it is, because it's an hour away from from Atlanta. And where I live, I'm about an hour away from the center of Houston. So that's where, like, it's not a small town, it's a suburb, okay, of a big city, which is Atlanta. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching it. I'm just like, and so I went to go read it and saw his Wikipedia. And then I was like, all right, maybe I'm not giving him a fair chance. Maybe because I'm from Philadelphia, so it's a big city. It's like what, the top 10 biggest population in the country. So I had to make sure that, like, maybe because I'm thinking like millions of people is a big city, that maybe 150 is a small town. 150,000 is a small town. So I went on Google and I asked Google, I said, what is the definition of a small town? Let me tell y'all guys what this definition of a small town was. Okay, not a definition. I said, what makes a town considered, small, whatever. The population caps out at dun, 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 50,000 people in the town. That's where it caps out. Okay. Now I don't know where Jason Aldean lived all his life. I know that he was born in Macon, Georgia, because that's what it says on his Wikipedia page. And I don't think that can get changed anymore. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching it. Oh shit, what? Why did it just do that? Oh my god. Yo, my computer really just did that? Hopefully it didn't stop. Wow. Sorry if you guys got a little bit of a blackout right there for a little bit. So once again, so I did all my research. I did some research, my quick 5-minute research, and I was like, so what reverence does he have? Like, what comparison or what fact does he have that that type of shit doesn't happen in a small town? Actually, I think most like bank robberies happen in small towns. But yeah, hey, look, listen. If that's what he thinks doesn't happen in a small town, okay, cool. He's not from one. He has no reverence of a small town. So why are we getting upset about this? I'm not mad. I don't care. Everybody's like, well, look at the snowflakes, snowflakes. Hey, it's the same people that were mad that there was a black Little Mermaid. Okay, it's the same people. Okay, that were mad about this. So I really the snowflake conversation is the dumbest shit ever because both sides have their own problems. But here's where I kind of had to jump into the argument a little bit. Not the argument, but discussion. So somebody reposted this on their Facebook. And so I had to say something. I just have to understand how the fuck this thing equates. So this is what I read. Imagine thinking WAP by Cardi B is good for our culture, but Jason Aldean is dangerous. Let me ask y'all something for a second, man. I just want to understand it. This tit for tat shit is really getting fucking old. Okay. Everybody trying to be the victim. Everybody's trying to victim blame or become the victim, or it's that's the problem with society today. It's not a certain music video. It's not a certain music, not a certain song, not certain actions or political actions that are happening. It's everybody wanting to be a victim. Okay. White people want to be victims. Black people want to be victims. Everybody wants to be a victim. Okay. That's the victim mentality. And once somebody says that I'm a victim of this, of social whatever, everybody starts to get up in arms against those people, or they'll reinvigorate the victimhood of that person, of that group. There's only a few victims out there that can speak up and actually play victim, in my opinion. I'm not going to say it here, but there's only a few people in the walk of life that can do that. And I'm sitting here, I'm watching. I'm read that comment. I'm just like, those don't equate. It's not. What's the equation here? And now, if you said that WAP was a good, imagine thinking WAP by Cardi B is good for our culture. Whose culture? Whose culture are you talking about? Because I don't know what culture you're talking about. But first of all, WAP was very scrutinized by by the right and the left a lot. Okay, just go to watch Ben Shapiro's show talking about WAP by itself. Okay, just in case everybody did I already say that it's wet ass pussy? Talking about, oh well, you can't actually have a wet ass pussy, and then also the sexualization, the music video, things like that. So I'm sitting here and I'm reading this, and I'm like, that's untrue, because no one said that shit. I'm trying to remember who said this. Who said this? Now you had young girls and stuff like that singing this song, but nobody was saying that's good for maybe society. I don't know what culture you're speaking of, because culture is a different thing from society. So, and then you go around and you say Jason Aldean is dangerous. Well, the rhetoric that he is saying is dangerous. WAP it could be dangerous. And somebody was like, which one would you want your little girl listening to? I'd rather my little girl listen to fucking WAP. Okay, let's be real for a second. I'd rather my kid listen to WAP. Let me tell you why. Hold on, calm down. Let me tell you why though. Because I can actually explain that. I can explain, you know, why somebody feels like they need to talk about their sexuality like this. I can explain that. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about, this is pretty much starting off the birds and bees conversation. That's what I think that conversation would do. The problem, I mean, that song could do the birds and the bees, and you can explain it down to a point to where there's some light to it. The shit that Jason Aldean was saying practically was, if you try some shit in a small town, you gonna die. You dead. You dead. They gonna kill your ass. If you go into my small town and think that you're gonna spit in the cop's face, or if you think you're gonna be in a small town and you're gonna rob somebody, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna kill you because my daddy gave me a gun. I can't explain that mentality to someone. I can't explain the mentality of another human being that finds it okay to say I will kill you. I can't explain that mentality because I don't have that mentality. Unless you unless you attack my property or someone I love. It's the only thing I give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck what you do in a town. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, bro. You know what I'm saying? In Philly, we don't really have gangs. We got streets. You know what I'm saying? You go down the wrong block and you talking some dumb shit, you might get fucked up. I'm not condoning it, because this whole song right here is condoning violence. Violence beget violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in the Bible. Most of the people that's in those small towns read the Bible, because most of the time they're in a place called the Bible Belt. So when you sit around here and you talk about how one is bigger than the other, that's the fucking problem right there. That's the problem with society, not culture. Society. There's a difference between the two. So when you sit around here and you're putting out this rhetoric that if you start rioting, we're going to kill you with our guns. Motherfucker, you're killing unarmed human beings. You're talking about doing some harm to an unarmed human being. First of all, you're a pussy. I'm just putting it out there. You're a pussy. Straight up. Secondly, that's the biggest snowflake move ever. Why can't this society, not culture, society, why can't this society see both sides, and how both sides could be wrong, and also how both sides could be right? Yeah, you should be able to protect your town. Yeah, you should be able to express your sexuality. Dead ass. So why is that not the talk? Why is the talk is, well, WAP was good for the culture, and Jason Aldean is dangerous? What the fuck? How come we can't have little column A, little column B? Why can't we have that? Why can't we have good pros and cons? Why the fuck does it always have to be, oh, this shit is good and we can't talk about ours because it's a dangerous subject? No, that's not what it is. What you need to understand is that both have positive and negative. I'm sorry to put it out there. It does. Maybe the music video was a little touched. Apparently that courthouse is very famous for hanging black folks. I don't know. I gotta go read my history on that one. I don't know that part. I read it on somebody else's comment. I just wanted to understand it. But when I read the post, I was just like, they don't equate. Now, if you said maybe trap music, maybe we have a discussion there. Maybe there's a little bit of a discussion, because these dudes is like literally talking about crimes that they did, and this dude is talking about potentially doing crime to another human being. Maybe that's where that may equate, but like this whole scene playing the victimhood shit is getting fucking old on both fucking sides. It is. It's getting fucking old. I'm sorry. It's an old adage that we need to get the fuck out of. We need to start trying to understand each other's side. I don't know how I can say this any more bluntly, but I'm a black man. I know my history. I know how to read a book. I know how to, read society. I know how to watch the news. I know which news sites to watch. I know which news sites not to watch. I watch the other side's news sites. I read the other side's fucking Twitter. I read my side's Twitter. They both sound like they both bitching. Everybody bitching, but everybody also has a right and a wrong. So when you sit around here and y'all post dumb shit that's reaching, can y'all please start thinking before you post this type of dumb shit? And start maybe thinking like, how is this wrong and right at the same time? Because this whole statement, imagine thinking WAP by Cardi B is good for our culture, but Jason Aldean is dangerous. What does that do for us? How does that help? How did that just help us? How is that helping move forward society? How is that not taking two steps back because, oh well, black people can, because really what I'm reading is black people can talk about whatever they want, but once a white person says something, we got a problem. That's what I'm reading. That's what most people, my skin complexion, most people that agree or are with my skin complexion would read that as, well, black people are allowed to talk about sex and things like this. They can talk about guns and violence and things like this. But once we start talking about we're going to shoot somebody when they come to our small town and start doing riots and robbing people, we're allowed to shoot them. I'm going to shoot you. What the fuck is going on here? What? Come on, man. Like, that's a societal issue that we're dealing with right now. And I wish that this podcast can help change some minds, but it probably won't. Actually, you know what I mean? Like, I know I already, like, I probably split my fandom my fandom from different peoples, and that's fine by me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna like it, you ain't gonna like it. Hey man, hate watch is still a watch, baby. I appreciate you. But I want to understand, like, why does both sides need to be the victims? Why can't both sides try to be heroes? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, how did WAP move society forward? Women can go out and express themselves, their sexuality, and I mean not their sexuality isn't who they love or who they have sex with, plain old sexuality, what they want to do, showing their bodies, being positive about themselves, having positive self-esteem about themselves. That's probably what WAP did. That's not how other people seen it, understandably. Oh, dude, would you want your little kid? Well, why the fuck is my child watching a video where chicks are sitting here just why? Well, then why is that's bad parenting on your part? Why are your kids watching that shit? If you have a problem with your kids watching those type of videos, how did they get access to it in the first place? Huh. Interesting. Huh. But Jason Aldean's song can be seen by all ages. Right? I understand. Some of y'all are mad because it got taken off of country music television or some shit. I don't see the problem with the song. I'm not going to sit here and tell an artist to not do their art. You know what I mean? That's your art. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not going to accept it. If it's racist and you feel like you're racist, hey, bro. Hey, I just started listening to country music too. And if this is the thing that turns me off from it, that's fine. Morgan Wallen said the N-word like 20 million times. What I can probably bet my bottom dollar that maybe over 75% of country artists that are white said the N-word in private. Can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting here saying, like, now maybe I can't watch you maybe I can't listen to You Make It Easy anymore. And I love that fucking song by Jason Aldean. I love that song. You Make It Easy? Yo, that shit, like, it's a great song. Hold on. Okay, my bad. The fuck was that? Huh. Trying to figure it out. Okay. All right. I had to mess around with something real quick because that was weird. Um, yeah. If that's the thing that takes me away from country music, then I probably it really wasn't in country music in the first place. But you know, I'm still gonna listen, but I'm not gonna listen. Maybe not listen to him, but because if that's his rhetoric, I mean, that's how he feels about. Because most of the video was black people going and robbing people, so it was like, you know, crime does span different races. Okay, just put it out there. But I'm at a point now where it's just like the victimhood. Everybody has to be a victim. Once you start getting yelled at, now you're a victim. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with people, you know, in my area of life that have to become the victim. That, like, when you say something to them, that now it's, oh, I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it society won't be able to move forward until we start understanding both sides. It will never move forward. I'm sorry. And fucking posts like that is what divides nations. Is why this nation is practically divided. As that's it right there. It's divisiveness, because next week we're gonna be like, well, Jason Aldean can talk about shooting motherfuckers before they leave town, but my little gunshot over here can't talk about smoking on his ops. That's gonna be the next thing, because that's dangerous, but that's okay. No, it's not. Both are not okay. Sorry, just put it out there. They're both not okay. Just put it out there. You know what I'm saying? But now if he said, don't step on my front lawn, that would have been a good, that, you know what, that would have made sense. Don't step on my front lawn. I'm gonna light your ass on fire if you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's probably would have been a good song for him. But the small town part, you're not even from a small town, so why the fuck are you even making this song? I had to come on the podcast to talk about this. I know it's supposed to be about anime and mangas and things like that, but I'm a black man, and reading this shit, it was just like, it really not upset me, but it was like, this is the problem. You know what I mean? This is exhibit A of the fucking problem of why people think that the country is split right now. This is a stupid fucking comment. It is. I'm sorry. And people that post it, like, can y'all read this shit first? Can y'all go and watch news coverage first of WAP and the shit that they were saying about those young women? Because it was Cardi B. And the crazy part is, it's not just Cardi B that was on that song. Wasn't it Meg Thee Stallion also on that song? And y'all just attacking Cardi B because Cardi B went after Candace Owens. That's the only reason why y'all attacked Cardi B. Let's be real. That's the only reason why you brought that song up. It's because Candace Owens and Cardi B, I ain't gonna talk about Candace Owens. I'm not a fan of hers. She's an Auntie Tom, and that's fine. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching this shit. I'm just like, y'all could have chose anything, any other type of black culture, any type of other thing that has affected black society. I mean, it's affected society and not just the culture, because we have different cultures inside of this country. I don't know what culture these motherfuckers are talking about, but like, that's not even your culture that you're talking about. So what I'm trying to understand is, so are you just saying that culturally WAP made black women and black girls sit there and be okay with expressing themselves sexually? Or are you trying to sit here and say that maybe the society that was supposed to be good? I don't know. I don't know where you're trying to go with that stupid ass shit, but like, it didn't make sense. It wasn't one of those things that was like, that makes sense. You know what? Yeah, that equates. It doesn't. It doesn't equate whatsoever. Like, I'm sitting here doing chemistry. Y'all niggas, y'all motherfuckers over here are doing chemistry to try to figure out how you became a victim from the Jason Aldean song. The shit is fucking sad, bro. And sis, the shit is sad. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. I'm over here wearing my Bleach shirt. I just watched Bleach and Warrior on the same fucking day. It was beautiful, beautiful fucking day. And I got to watch them both. And I'm over here and I'm having to read stupid fucking comments. Oh, and then one dumbass puts, what makes a snowflake melt faster? And it's a murderer and a guy that talks about murder. I don't know, like, the whole snowflake aspect of everything. How did y'all take like, what? Oh man, the biggest snowflakes. Let me tell y'all something, man. The biggest snowflakes in this country are the ones that talk about people being fucking snowflakes. Sorry, just the way it is. You sound dumb. Sorry. My bad, y'all. I know I had to get a little political right there. I had to do my expertise, which is, and one of my expertise was just politics and fucking talking about life, talking about history, because clearly motherfuckers forgot. Motherfuckers don't know how to read a fucking tweet. Motherfuckers don't know how to go back in history and figure out that, like, motherfuckers was talking about that song in just the video alone. They were talking about the shit. Sorry. All right. But also, I want to review one thing. Okay, I got one more. I got some things. I've got a thing I want to review. Hey, I want to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not going to be Bleach Friday thing. I mean, Bleach Tuesday thing, because Bleach Tuesdays is back, baby. And last episode was fantastic. I'm not going to talk about it yet, though. Also, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll probably talk about. I want to try to get home earlier on Monday. Probably won't because I work with ass wipes, and I just want to try. Try, and I don't give a shit. Hopefully, Reason knows the truth. But yeah, we're gonna try to definitely talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. Hopefully, but I wanted to talk about Your Honor. Yo, I don't have bad anxiety. I really don't. I really like. I've had one panic attack in my life. That was because I was in a hot ass back of a truck and it had over 400 fucking packages on it. But that's the only time I had a panic attack. And I was watching Your Honor, and as I'm watching it, oh, and as I'm watching, I'm like, from like the first 5 minutes, like I'm like the first 5 minutes start off smooth as fuck. And then it goes downhill very quickly. Anxiety written downhill type shit. Like, I don't have asthma, but the dude that was going through his shit with the asthma, dog, that I felt bad for him. But at the same time, what he did was pretty fucked up. But hey, man, yo, I was watching this shit. I watched all 10 episodes of the first season. I think I watched the first episode of the next season. And the whole time, I'm just sitting here like, yo, how the fuck are they about to get away with this shit? I just want to know how they're going to get away with this. That's all I want to know. What is the plan of getting away with this shit? I'm sorry. I'm hopefully I'm not spoiling too. I'm not spoiling anything. There's nothing being spoiled right now. But Your Honor is on Paramount Plus right now because Showtime just got acquired. I guess Showtime is acquired by Paramount Plus, and that's why I'm paying extra. Hopefully that's why. And finally Paramount is working on my motherfucking Fire Stick, which is great. But I just wanted y'all to understand, like, Bryan Cranston, like, why is he not talked about more as one of the best actors out there right now? Like, this was the silly ass dad he was a silly character on Malcolm in the Middle, and then it was like I'm sitting here watching and I'm just like, this dude is a seriously great actor. Like, you watch him as Heisenberg, of course. We all know him as Heisenberg. One of the greatest TV shows of all time, which is Breaking Bad. But at the same time, him playing this role on Your Honor, holy mother goose. This dude is not only menacing, but he's conniving. Like, his whole character is a conniving person as a judge. And I'm sitting here watching, I'm just like, and then when you get to the final episodes of the season, it's like, damn, this dude was always kind of like a step ahead of everyone until like literally until the final episode. Was like he was a step ahead of everybody at one point. And it's just like, wow, had a plan for like had a zig for every zag that happened. That's the crazy part about this. Crazy part about his character. He had a zig for almost every zag. Almost every zag. It, if y'all get a chance, that show is criminally underrated. And I mean criminally like the first season so far, like, I don't know why the fuck it is not talked about enough. That's not talked about enough in what tomorrow's podcast is about, which is Warrior Podcast. I mean Warrior Cast, sorry. Warrior Cast with Michael Carroll. Just making sure everybody knows it's coming. All right, just letting you guys know. But to know that Bryan Cranston is playing this fucking role, man. And they really put a really good acting around them. They actually use people, I think, that are actually from New Orleans also, which brings the authenticity of it. You know, I like that shit. I liked it because, like, why the Wire kind of had, the Wire was good. Like, most of the people, I don't think most of the people were from Baltimore, but like this show right here, you can just feel the fucking the realness of this, the realness, and I really 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 love this show. I really do. I was so happy that it came with my Paramount Plus. Like, it's Paramount Plus on the sneak has some really good fucking shows. Like, if y'all haven't seen Mayor Kingstown yet, Like I know I've been shouting this motherfucker from the rooftops. Mayor of Kingstown needs to be fucking watched. It needs to be consumed and fucking just loved all over the place. But I love talking about Warrior so much that I love watching Warrior so much that I literally have a cast podcast for it. You know what I mean? And like if I love it enough, I might make it just a day for its own. And like I said, Bleach is coming out on Tuesdays. I might do Jujutsu Kaisen on Mondays because I'm not gonna lie to you, for like, a little bit of a, sneak peek of what they might be about, what the podcast is going to be. Until the last like 5 minutes of the third episode of the second season of Jujutsu Kaisen, I was starting to think this season was going to be mid. And then they fucked me up. Then they decided to fuck me up. And that's where we are now. So, right now, I'm gonna call it a podcast because this is hot as hell. I'm wearing long sleeves. I'm wearing my bleach shirt too. Look, wearing my bleach shirt. Yeah, buddy, wearing my bleach shirt. But yeah, that's Ichigo and hollow, this hollowification. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the podcast for today. It is hot as balls in here. It was like lightning out of fucking nowhere. It was the most weirdest. Like Texas has the weirdest fucking weather, dog. I promise. It has the weirdest fucking weather. It's been clear all day. It's been clear and hot as hell all day today. And then when it gets to nighttime, I'm like, yo, is that lightning? I'm sitting here watching a plane pass by the crib, and then all of a sudden you just see a flash of light in your peripheral. I'm just like, did somebody just take a picture of me? No, it was fucking a big ass lightning bolt coming down. It was the craziest thing ever. I really do. It was the craziest thing ever. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful watch. But with that, I want to say I love everyone, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast today. I know I got a little heavy on the political talk, but like, you know what I mean? Like, like Bleach is for its own day, you know what I mean? And then Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be for its own day. I'm going to have my own review days. But this is also the other side of the podcast, too. You know what I'm saying? Patreon episode will be out. I'm going to do probably the Warrior Cast tomorrow and also the Patreon episode. Try to get two things out at once. Hopefully you guys enjoy that part of the story. um, uh, yeah, man, I'm just hoping I get my voice like all the way back to 100% because I'm sitting here like, shit, man, I am struggling. So I like to say, man, thank y'all so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. Where you can find the Cruising Podcast one more time, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere else you can find your podcast needs. If you can find the Cruising Podcast, also you can find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. Hey, hold on, don't leave yet. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Please also like and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, you are a fucking champion. Also on Apple Podcasts, you know what? All of you are champions. Stitcher is about to leave, so if you are listening on Stitcher, please you can switch over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify for sure. I know Stitcher is about to be like defunct. Well, not defunct. They're about to shut down all services. So make sure that you guys, if you are listening there, come to the Apple Podcast feed and also are the Spotify feed. And also on YouTube. We're here on YouTube too. So, and also once again, sorry for the blunder that happened like for like 5 or 6 seconds. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like my screen just went black out of nowhere. And I was sitting there looking at my battery life. It was about to die. And so I put it in and I was like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on then. That's what she said. But but with that, I want to say, man, I'm sorry, guys, for that. But hopefully, you continue to enjoy the podcast. But with that, I would like to say, I love all of you. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll catch you guys later. Deuces. Hold on. In the podcast. In the broadcast.